So I'm not exactly sure of the burn rate of the new fireplace yet, but I made an assumption that this is going to be enough to get me through a day. So breakfast to breakfast, roughly in the winter. So in the summertime, they use summer kitchens, and we're going to use our primitive shelter. It should serve us quite well for that. Keep in mind, if you if you wanted a spot of tea or a cup of coffee, you had to light fire. So sometimes in the heat of summer, having one in a small cabin would have been unbearable. So yeah, like I said, the primitive shelter is going to work very well for that. And I really won't know till this winter whether this is going to be adequate size box or not, but pretty simple to build. So anyway, I've got a number of furnitures that I've built for the cabin. I'm just going to scout about now and see where I want to hang some stuff. So I'm getting a bit fancier as I start to build the furniture about here. This piece is basically it's a reproduction of one that was circa early 1700s, and it's sort of a unique piece with its scroll work. So took the dimensions off an original piece, including the wooden hinges, and basically made a single shelf inside of it. And we're going to hang that guy up. So yeah, they did want a little style in their life, so they would quite often, and this piece strikes me as being rather unique. They did want a little flair, I guess, in their home, just like we do today. So We're going to get this piece hung up here over our kitchen counter. So what I've got here is a recreation of a pipe box, long tavern pipes. They were the most common. Small drawer on the bottom that held twist tobacco. Wasn't sold like it is today as a loose tobacco. It had to be chopped. And it would be a rare cabin indeed that didn't have one. This one's painted sort of a blue-green milk paint, which was another common color in the 1700s. Wee bit of history behind tobacco. They believe it dates back to 6000 BC. So if we fast forward about 7,500 years to the year 1492, and that fellow named Christopher Columbus, he comes across the ocean blue and lands in the West Indies. He's introduced to tobacco for the first time. Takes it back to Spain. Within 80 years, it's pretty much worldwide, the use of it. Extremely addictive, people liked it. And by the 1575 or so, there's accounts that doctors in Europe were writing papers on its health benefits of smoking tobacco, everything from curing lockjaw to toothaches, even curing cancers at the time. How ironic is that? Anyway, in the colonies, if we look at the Chesapeake Bay area, Virginia area, it was ideal conditions for growing tobacco, both the weather and the soil conditions. And in fact, the tobacco industry essentially fueled the slave trade because it was a very labor-intensive crop. So for the first time by around the late 1600s, early 1700s in the Americas, slaves were being used to grow, tend, harvest, and cure tobacco. And essentially it was like gold. It could be used as currency, in fact was used as currency, sort of like a gold standard that we have today. So everybody smoked, women, even children, young children. So the pipe, the simple clay pipe was a common item. Now this was a tavern pipe, but the stem's been broke off. They're generally about this long, provides for a cool smoke, and I've got to replenish my pipes because they're all broken. So everybody would have had it. They'd have twist tobacco, and in most cabins they'd have a cutting board specifically for cutting the twists of tobacco. Certainly they'd have them in taverns like the Cedar Hollow Tavern. And they'd have a special knife, sort of a curved knife, and it was a shell curved plate essentially. So they'd open the drawer, take out the the twisted tobacco, chop enough to fill their little bowl, have a smoke, and then get on with their day. So this is a pretty exciting day. We're actually cooking up our very first meal in our new log cabin. So I've got a little venison roast on the spit here. Cathy's gone off to the garden to get some new potatoes and some beans. It's a great time of the year because we're starting to finally reap the benefits of our hard labor of planting this past spring. So yeah, we essentially eat wild meat. We're getting pretty depleted now. We're pretty much down to it, but we're only 6 weeks away from our fall moose hunt. Hopefully successful. Moose is our favorite meat. And we're 8 weeks away from our deer hunt. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna manage this roast, and Cathy should be along pretty shortly with some fresh vegetables.
Absolutely.
Wow. We did it.
We did it.
First of many meals. And we're starting off with new potatoes. Warms the cockles of an Irishman's heart right here. Bye. Have you tried the meat? Good?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Which shoulder is it? Right or left? I know my mother would know. She was a rather superstitious lady. So, what do you think of the two-tine fork?
I think the third one had a purpose.
No kidding. Like, how do you ever load a pea on that thing? I'm thinking they use these historically accurate knives were huge. Or what's up to the fork? Used it like a shovel. Okay? We need a successful moose hunt this fall.
I'll do that. We'll be snaring a lot of rabbits this fall. Unfortunately, not short of rabbits, given the ones that eat my beets.
I know. Beets and the rutabaga. Haven't they been nailing that too?
I should be putting bone meal down.
I think. You gotta stop a rabbit.
It's fine.
some fine meat.
Good.